People often tell us we're so lucky to have what we have, and they're often people who started off with a lot more than we did.
I'm personal finance expert Rubina Ahmed Haq. In my job, I find I'm advising people on the same basic money principles over and over again. Live within your means. Don't take on unnecessary debt, and know how much your life costs. My biggest concern, consumer debt is rising fastest among seniors. But there are some who have made good financial decisions and are now living a comfortable lifestyle. I recently met retirees Eric and Jane Ward. I love their story because they got their financial situation together early in life and are now reaping the rewards. Outside of their mortgage, they have lived a zero-debt lifestyle and say anyone saving for retirement right now could learn a lot from them.
We started saving for retirement probably in the early mid-90s. We found that we could start saving a little bit of money then. But the great thing was we paid off our mortgage in '94. And then, of course, we had a lot of, and what we paid into the mortgage we could put into savings. So that was a great help.
I remember once our spending slightly exceeded our income, so we trimmed a few things off, like our Saturday newspaper. I made whole grain bread, so we said, okay, we can do without breakfast cereal. And we just went through trimming little bits off here, little bits off there, tiny little bits. And we got it so we're living within our means.
With a paid-off house worth $500,000, work and government pensions equaling more than $4,000 a month, and a larger than average nest egg, Eric and Jane Ward are living the Canadian retirement dream.
We have enough for our needs and more, and so we feel secure, and I think we're in a very fortunate position.
The most amazing part, they built this wealthy retirement on one income while raising 2 kids, and only started contributing to their RRSP in their late 40s, debunking the myth that in order to succeed, you have to start saving for retirement in your 20s.
We had 2 kids who were starting to go into college, and all the normal expenses of life, and we just didn't have money for saving, really.
Their attitude was to never take on debt and live a zero-debt lifestyle, despite what the experts were telling them to do.
Our financial advisor said to us, take money from your mortgage and save that, and you'll get 12.5%, 12.5%. And we thought, no, we've paid that mortgage, we'll leave that alone, keep it safe. And we never would have got 12.5 anyway. And we had other people too, we often heard that advice given.
Obviously, when you're young and you have commitments, you may not have the money, you may have no choice. But I think it's a good policy to put away what you can, when you can, but more important is don't get into debt. In the early days, I know I spent one long weekend roofing the front side of the house, and that's a heavy job. I do, I can do a bit of plumbing, electrical, whatever. I tend to build things myself when I can. We've got a dining room table I built when we first moved in here. We're still using it.
They saw value in Jane staying home with the kids while Eric worked full-time. But a one-income home meant cutting back wherever possible.
I didn't have a rolling pin, so I got a wine bottle and used that for rolling out pastry, and used that for years. We didn't have money for bookcases, so we got orange boxes and used them for years.
Looking back over our lives, we had a mortgage in the early 80s when interest rates were up in the high teens.
18.5.
And that's what we were paying, and now they're what, 1 or 2%. And now when we have money we could save, the rates on the savings are fractions of a percent.
I think it's a lot easier to make sacrifices when you're young much easier. I wouldn't want to have to go through all that now. Now it's wonderful to be able to enjoy it and appreciate it.
Eric and Jane have taught us we can never afford to be reckless with our money. Even in retirement, they continue to live a thrifty lifestyle, but with the comfort of knowing they can afford to do the things they love when they want to. The lesson is practice simple money rules early, and you will have more financial freedom later in life.